Hello and welcome to episode 38. This episode was written by The Gravelstone. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out his Instagram for more album reviews. Over the course of his storied hip-hop career, MF Doom has proved himself to be one of the most unique and eye-catching rappers in the game. This is in large part due to his use of fictional personas within his music. Creations like the youthful and energetic Victor Vaughn, the extraterrestrial King Ghidorah, or the villainous MF Doom bring a deep level of immersion to all of Doom's projects. One album that perfectly encapsulates the character building Doom is so famous for just so happens to be what is widely considered to be his best work, Madvillainy. The fusion of Doom's lyrical talents and the legendary production of Madlib in this case is near flawless, and every track contributes to the atmosphere and concepts present on the record as a whole. The pair draw from comic books, classic soul music, and their own real-world experiences to paint a picture of the character Doom, once described as the old-school villain that you have in any story, where he's always looked at as the bad guy, but really has a heart of gold. Just as Doom described in this interview with the Red Bull Music Academy, Madvillainy gifts the listener with a character just as lovable as he is dastardly, and forms one of hip-hop's most concise concept pieces as a result. From the album's very first moments, Doom portrays his character as a fiendish villain that's truly a reflection of the darker side of society. In the opening audio collage of the album, titled The Illest Villains, Doom and Madlib are referenced in the line, "Madvillain, more accurately the dark side of our beings." Whether they are envious of his wealth, women's status, or rapping ability, Doom represents who countless people wish they could be, a charming, carefree villain who disregards societal norms in every way he can. Doom provides as much on the album's first true track, Accordion. Here, Doom shows off his lyrical abilities while also establishing his unique character. While the contents of Doom's lyrics are usually large exaggerations, for the purpose of separating the character from the man behind the mask, they also draw from Doom's real-world experiences to provide that bit of relatability for the audience. Doom does this just within Accordion, simultaneously proclaiming he's been rhyming for over 2,000 years and acknowledging that he's older than the average MC, and won't see true appreciation of his work until after his death. These two lines create both a sense of relatability and alienation that many can relate to feeling old, but none can relate to being around for 1,000 years or more. Much like a comic book villain, Doom walks the line between being different from and being similar to the average person, and that's quite an interesting mix there. In the years since the release of Madvillainy, Accordion has proven itself to be one of the most beloved tracks on the album and of Doom's entire career. While this is due in large part to Doom's lyricism, the production has also played a key role. Madlib creates a beat that heavily uses an accordion, and Doom's entire verse builds up to the line, "Slip like Freudian, in your first and your last step to playing yourself like accordion." In just the first track, Doom and Madlib are able to display their collaborative skills through how the album's lyrics can shape the production around them. And this will be a reoccurring theme on the album, where Doom's subject matters influences the beat and also vice versa. Two great examples of the concept of a track pairing with the beat come in the form of the tracks Strange Ways and Fancy Clown. These two tracks might be the most conceptual on the whole album, with the former covering themes of police violence and issues within the government, and the latter following a messy breakup between Doom's alter ego Victor Vaughn and an unnamed girl. On Strange Ways, Madlib samples the song Funny Ways by Gentle Giant to show what he and Doom perceive to be the strange ways in which the government operates. The examples given by Doom include how the government denies African Americans money, and doesn't expect retaliation when the police tries to stop them from getting it by their own means. This is in addition to the point on how the government also financially cripples the countries it goes to war with, and then doesn't attempt to help them when they can't care for themselves. A politically charged statement. In the context of Doom's character, this track shows how Doom serves as a reflection of the darkness in society by revealing the harsh truth inherent in the system. Fancy Clown uses the same production ideas as Strange Ways but covers a much more small-scale issue. The track serves as Victor Vaughn's condemnation of a girl who left him for none other than MF Doom. The track samples the ZZ Hill song, That Ain't the Way You Make Love, specifically the line, I hear you in the background whenever I phone, telling your brother to say you're gone. The line perfectly presents the idea of a girl not wanting to speak to Victor after being caught cheating on him. While Fancy Clown still sees Doom rapping, he uses Victor Vaughn in order to build up the character of Doom without using him. Doom does this frequently throughout the album, using special guest skits and instrumentals to paint a larger picture of Doom. The album's first interlude comes in the form of the track Bistro, which sees Doom introducing the listener to the album, comparing it to an upper-class restaurant, where you are offered the finer things in life, as he says. Here, Doom makes reference to his perception that his rhymes are of the highest caliber, and this not only serves as a nice lead-in to the rest of the album, but to the following song, Raid. This track serves as a metaphorical raid of Doom's rhymes on the listener, but the track also features a verse from fellow rapper Med that helps to add on to the character of Doom. Med talks about his violent and criminal behaviour and serves as an example of the type of company Doom keeps. Much like himself, those surrounding Doom are ultra-lyrical villains. Doom also makes use of a special guest on the track, America's Most Blunted, in the form of Madlib's alter ego Quasimodo. Quaz and Doom team up to teach the listener about their opinions on marijuana, a drug that was illegal for recreational use at the time of Madvillainy's creation. As usual, Doom is tapping into his villainous side on this song through using illegal drugs, but also confronting real-world issues, such as how marijuana's effects aren't as harmful as some may assume. The duo's bars match up well with each other, with each artist referencing the other at the start of their verse and speaking about their fondness for marijuana use. This amazing collaboration further lends to the idea that Madvillain is an unstoppable force when combined. Directly following this track is the instrumental Sick Fit, which is one of 3 instrumental tracks on the album, including Do Not Fire and Supervillain theme. The focus of these tracks is to harness the production skills of Madlib to further build on the character of Doom. Each instrumental features dark and brooding sounds, and while Sick Fit achieves this through the use of grimy and distorted instruments, and Do Not Fire does so through a variety of samples, the true standout of these tracks is Supervillain theme, which creates an atmosphere definitely unique to itself. Madlib makes use of the 1973 song Adormeci by a Brazilian progressive rock outfit, and through various beat chops and additional sounds transforms the psychedelic track into a cinematic one befitting of a true supervillain. The album contains a few more interludes throughout, such as Hardcore Hustle, which sees guest rapper Wildchild rap about himself and Doom's lyrical abilities, or the track I, where Stacey Epps sings of love as a place of euphoria, immediately after the heartbreak displayed on Fancy Clown. One thing all of these tracks have in common is that they help to build up the character of MF Doom. However, these songs don't do nearly as well of a job fleshing out Doom's persona as the narratives he spins about himself throughout Madvillainy. While Doom's lyricism and special guests play into his character nicely, the best way to fully understand him is through listening to the stories he tells about himself. The first one of which is presented on the track Meat Grinder, where Doom describes his encounter with a strange prostitute that wouldn't accept his advances, simply to show the listener that he's a hopeless romantic. The rest of Doom's stories follow a similar pattern in which he tells the listener about an encounter he had, only to show them a character trait he possesses. Other songs that perfectly embody this format are Curls, where Doom tells the listener he now gets money like Curls, and then delivers a verse about a time when he had little and was forced to rob and steal from money. Examples are Operation Lifesaver, aka Mint Test, which sees Doom trying to find a way to fix a girl's bad breath instead of politely ignoring it, and the song All Caps, that sees Doom recounting his aggressive nature in the form of a fight he had with an anonymous opponent. However, some tales from Doom don't present any particular information about himself, instead providing a window into his world. These come from the tracks Rainbows and Great Day. On the former, Doom gives insight into the violent nature of his world by describing a snitch who commits suicide by drinking cleaner fluid, while the latter serves a much more light-hearted look into a day in the life of Doom, where he recounts a trip to a restaurant and seeing some of his friends while he's out. Overall, Doom's many narratives cover every aspect of his fictional character, whether outlandish or based in reality, and these tales, along with other bits and pieces from across the album, leave the listener with a perfect mental picture of Doom. As said on the audio collage of the album's final track, Rhinestone Cowboy, in reference to Madvillainy, sometimes they were comedic or relentlessly horrifying. Madvillainy plays with every aspect of what it means to be a villain. Doom and Madlib's collaborative album is one that effortlessly builds a character that is both lovable and despicable at the same time. Today, MF Doom is one of, if not the most celebrated acts in all of underground hip-hop, and much of that celebration is due to this album. It set the bar for great lyricism, pushed the boundaries of rap production, and most importantly, helped chisel the mask of the villainous Doom into hip-hop culture for years to come.